And with us in the studio now is Africanews journalist Wahani Sambo. Good morning, Wahani. Welcome to the program.
Bonjour et merci.
Thank you for joining us.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous, Wahani?
Je vais très bien.
On est prêt pour
Comme
la Coupe du Monde.
c'est jour J pour la Coupe
Exactement.
du Monde, donc voilà.
So Wahani, tell us, why do you think the trio bid won, US, Canada and Mexico bid?
Alors, la première chose à dire, c'est que pour moi,
it's
c'est
a
un choix
choice
qui ne me
of
surprend
expecting.
guère. Et puis, je m'y attendais déjà.
Already,
avec
with
la
only
seule
one
candidature
US
des
bid,
États-Unis, ça
it seemed
semblait
very
très,
complicated for the
compliqué pour
kingdom.
le royaume chérifien. Alors, quand les États-Unis
So
s'associent
when
avec
we
le
see
Mexique et
them
le
teaming
Canada,
up with Mexico
c'était
and
pratiquement
Canada,
injouable
that's
pour
the
le
US,
Maroc,
it
en
was
dépit des efforts et
unplayable
du fait
for
que
Morocco,
l'Afrique a
despite
organisé
the
la Coupe du
efforts and the
Monde
fact
une seule fois, c'était
that
en
Africa
Afrique du
organized
Sud
a
en
World
2010.
Cup only
Alors,
once
le choix
in South
d'organiser,
Africa in
il faut
2010.
le dire aussi, le choix d'organiser une Coupe
What's
du Monde.
more, the organizer's choice goes beyond the athletes, it's political.
Plus que l'a été le Maroc.
And it must be acknowledged that the United States has become more involved than Morocco has. I'm referring above all to Donald Trump's threats to countries that would vote against the North American bid.
Il suffit juste de voir
When we had the King of Morocco through his ministers and members of the federation, it's enough to see that.
C'est un peu dommage, je dirais, en tout cas.
And like I said earlier, surely it must be disappointing for Morocco, especially knowing that it's their fifth bid.
C'est la 5e fois qu'ils se portent
Could
candidat.
this signal the end of Morocco's interest?
So
it's difficult to say on the spot, but the shock is enormous for Moroccans. So they'll be able to get up. Only time will tell. But the same problems could occur when one presents a sixth bid and a great nation submits its own at the same time. So we know preparing a candidacy is very difficult. You have to convince, spend money to improve the infrastructure, to beat the campaign, and so on. Perhaps with the experience of its failures, the North African Kingdom will find a platform to convince FIFA and finally the Assembly that votes.
And really, Wahani, only South Africa has ever hosted the World Cup here on African soil. So is there really a bias against African countries hosting the World Cup? Otherwise, why is it that it's only South Africa that's ever hosted? And why is it difficult?
So biased, I don't think. It's important to know that hosting a World Cup is no small task. It's very, very complicated. Several conditions must be met, requirements that African countries cannot meet. That's the reality. A World Cup entails a lot of money. It's necessary to have top sports infrastructures and to have enough of them, and to have top-of-the-range hotels, good roads, airports in a short while. And few African countries have that. And now FIFA can say that it has done, as it has done with South Africa, that Africa has only hosted one World Cup, so we'll give a second chance, in which case Morocco would already be best placed.
Cette politique de choix du pays hôte.
Alors je pense que vous n'avez pas tort et que effectivement vu que le Maroc.
And finally, Wahani, let's talk about the nature of the 2026 World Cup that we know now will be staged in the US, Canada and Mexico, and it will be the first time the world will have 48 teams participating.
Cette année, parlez-nous plus en détail de ce qui va se passer. Wahani, pardon, pour la prochaine Coupe du Monde, il y aura 48 équipes qui participent.
Effectivement, il y aura 48 équipes, ce qui veut dire que ça va être compliqué. J'attends de voir ce que ça va.
I'm waiting to see what happens. 48 teams is a lot of games, more stadiums, a lot of movement.
Ça va être très compliqué.
It's very complicated. Personally, I was among those who are against it because I think it will end up offering less quality because we'll end up with teams that don't really have a level of World Cup. But who qualified because of their zone has more space? But let's wait and see what happens. We'll hope that Africanews will be part of it.
Évidemment, on doit être de la partie.